A dear friend has recently enrolled for a class where he's learning to play the flute. If you're someone who's also learned to play a musical instrument, you'll probably relate to the story he was telling me. He was talking about the experience of learning to play a new instrument, and we were talking about some of the lessons out of it, including the fact that it's never too late to learn, the temptation to give up, that lousy feeling when you get it wrong, and then, of course, the joy of occasionally getting it right. But what I want to share today is something slightly different from his experience. Hello and welcome to another edition of Chai with Pai, our series of videos where I share simple lessons and stories which can help each of us become just a little bit better. So the friend was telling me how there are several instruments that make up an orchestra, and therefore if you listen to a song, you'll probably feel the strumming of a guitar, you'll probably see the strings of a violin, the drums, the tabla, occasionally the flute. And then he said something interesting to me. He said, for most instruments, as you watch people preparing to play, you will find that they first tune the instrument. So the person with the tabla will make a few noises on the tabla, take a little thing, hammer it, and try to make sure that the tabla is at the frequency at which he wants it to be. And that's true for the guitarist too. He'll be strumming away, adjusting the keys, getting it to be just right. And then he said something which took me by surprise. And he said that the instrument he is learning, the flute, is the only one where you can't tune the instrument. You've got to tune yourself. So you can take a guitar or a violin or a tabla and then tune it to the frequency that you need or to the note that you need. But with the flute, you've got to kind of tune your own breath, tune yourself to match the flute. There is not much that you can do to tune the flute. Interesting, I thought. And then it struck me that maybe that's true not just for musical instruments, it's true for the people around us too. And if you look around at your colleagues, family, friends, you'll probably see that there's a mix of people. There are the guitars and the violins, the tablas, people who you can kind of tune to meet what you're looking for. And then there are the flutes, people with whom you need to change, you need to adapt to ensure that you get along with them and get the best out of them. I think from an organizational standpoint, this is such powerful advice. As a leader, it is such powerful advice to remember that there could be the occasional flute in your team. Not all of them are guitars and violins and tablas. Not all of them are people you can tune, you can change, you can modify so that they come up to what you're looking for. There are some people who will require you to change. Be the kind of person who recognizes the difference and makes the change. And before we finish off, maybe a good question to ask yourself: which one are you? A flute or a guitar or a violin? That's all in this week's edition of Chai with Pai. Until next time, enjoy the chai, enjoy the music.